For the next few minutes, we really want to talk about the effect that the extraordinary events of 2020 have had on your brands, on your discipline, what we see as the future for the marketing discipline, CMO in general. I think the first thing we should really talk about is how we've seen these incredible cultural shifts in 2020, rapidly shifting public expectations on the private sector, along with how daily life has completely changed. We have, some would say, an activist culture ahead of us, particularly with Gen Z, even more so than the 1960s. And they're going to check you. But that also means that you have to live it. So you have to take a look at supply chain, and those have vast implications, I think, for a lot of what brands need, how brands need to behave to be believable.
Yeah, and I think that's the opportunity for all of us, right? It's one thing just to do communications, and I think communications are very important. But if you're just saying stuff without the doing, without making those hard choices in your supply chain to that could cost more money for your company, or without actually like putting products out there that are going to meet those standards or guidelines, then you're just talking about stuff and you're saying stuff, and there's benefit in that, but it's not really, I think, what people want, which is what you were saying, which is the action, and which is about how does that manifest itself across your whole business, not just in an ad or a piece of creative, but really how you are taking steps forward to improve lives, not just through the food we make, but by how we live and how we leave our society in a better place.
The action is so critical. And what I love about the opportunity we have of, working in the organizations that we're privileged to work in, as in when you work in like a General Mills, like Brad or myself and then Nestle, you have scale, big scale. So you can you can influence an entire supply chain by anchoring and making a declaration of like, hey, this $1 billion brand in our portfolio is going to be 100% recycled plastic by 2022. We're so committed to it. We're working now through the entire supply chain to help enable that to actually become a reality. And I think that's where, it's the intention, it's the action behind it, and all of that, leading up to the purpose of, the brand direction. But the scale of our companies can really have a significant, influence across an entire industry or an entire supply chain or entire, even an advertising communication community of like, getting equality behind the camera and these things. When we unite together or leverage the scale of our individual companies, there's a lot of power behind that in terms of the actions that we're taking, and then the influence also on society that we're having because of the choices that we're making.
Scale is so relative. All three of you represent very large public brands, and yet when I think about Indigo, we think about scale, and we think that the opportunity to leverage agriculture as a part of the solution side of our climate crisis is a scaled opportunity. And because we think about most everybody is impacted by, climate and societal crises, that, leveraging the work that farmers are doing is a scaled moment for us to facilitate. And talk about the do and the say ratio. We learned a big lesson. We talked about that scale as an opportunity for agriculture to be a part of addressing climate as real, immediate, and scaled. And we've spent the last year working with the scientific community to do the rigorous work to figure out how can we measure that? How can we verify that? How can we put the detail behind that so that the message is backed up with the work? And I loved on this last session, Mark said, like, do the work, get really precise. And we've been doing that. The world told us to do that. And it's a responsibility that we're happy to be doing, but that's something I think is really important for us to think about when we go all the way to speaking to consumers. They have the opportunity, we all do, to be more educated. And so if we don't do the work, then it doesn't show up as authentic.
Right. Yeah, and that's we talked about that a little bit, right? The role, marketing has to be so well embedded into the business decisions that brands are making, because if you're going to be able to authentically communicate what the brand stands for, you have to make sure that they're, behaving that way as well. So I think being passionate about that is great for consumers, is great for the brands, is great for the earth. So I think all three of you are making tremendous impact. And for that, I say thank you very much.
Bye.
Thanks,
Thank you.